cable Damascus today. Not out of this though. Whoa. Forge welding day. Okay, so this is going to be a long video. So if you're not into learning about stuff, I would suggest just go to a different video. Honestly, if you want to watch this, go ahead, because you might learn something. I'm going to go through the processes of how I do my forge welding with cable Damascus, and I'll throw in a few pointers of how do you want to start with forge welding and stuff like that. I mean, there is thousands of books and hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube on forge welding. I mean, Black Bear Forge, amazing. Absolutely fantastic the way he describes how forge welding works, different types of welds, drop tong methods, all kinds of stuff. Joey van der Steeg, out of the Netherlands, does a few of those, and he is, in my opinion, amazing. Like, he makes it look like it's nothing. It's like waking up brushing your teeth. So I'll go through my process of doing things. The way I learned or taught myself was, you can watch 1,000 videos and you can still fail, because the color on a camera does not show up the way it is with your own eyes, the way you can see it with your own eyes. So the easiest way I can describe it, and it will work for anyone, guaranteed, is take 2 pieces of mild steel. Hold on. 2 pieces of mild steel. Easy to come by, cheap. You can pick it up. You can take angle iron if you want to. First of all, stick it in your forge. See if your forge can get up to welding heat, and if you start seeing sparks shooting out everywhere, take them out. Just like take them out of the fire and just press them against each other. If they stick, you got welding heat, and you can actually work from there on. The more you practice, the better you'll get. The thing is with that is, if you want to do projects with knife steels and Damascus, you do not want it to spark. That is the soul of your blade leaving itself. You're burning the crap out of it, literally. You're letting the carbon go. It just goes free. You'll never find it again. It's gone. And then your blade will suck. Okay, anyway. So, best thing I can say is to practice. Just take 2 pieces of mild steel, stick them in your forge, whether it's propane or your coal forge. Leave them in there. If you see sparks shooting out, pull them out. If you can actually like throw sparks off it, you're definitely at welding heat. It's gone. You're burning the shite out of it. So, that's how I taught myself. I started putting it in, burning the crap out of it, and then started taking it out earlier and earlier before it starts sparking. Obviously, you need clean steel. Very, very important. One of the most important things after a forge that can actually reach that temperature is clean steel. If you take 2 dirty pieces of steel, it's not going to work. It might stick here and there, but it's going to be a bad weld in the end. You can just throw it away. It's going to be useless after all the hours you put into a piece of work, and you get delams and all kinds of stuff because the steel was dirty. Well, you need clean steel, see? So another thing is that'll help you out is in your forge itself, good clean coal, how to look after your fire, making sure it doesn't cool down too much, heat up too fast. It's taking your stock, turning it around inside your fire so it heats up evenly. And I've seen many guys put it in, start sparking, let's just say mild steel. It starts sparking, takes it out, welds, but one side is still cooler than the other side, and the thing falls apart, it breaks. So that's very important. It's all about evenness, clean steel, and a good fire. And lots of practice, I can tell you that. So, cable Damascus with some bandsaw blades in it. I figured it would actually make a nice pattern. So, one day, when I grow up to be big and strong, and have big power hammers and big forge presses that cost the price of a house, I'll be able to turn this into a few hundred billets of cable Damascus. One day. So, without further ado, this is how I do mine, and I really hope you guys can take something home with this. Maybe there's a few things that you guys can teach me. You're never too old to learn, and it is actually ignorant of some people that say this is how you should do it and blah blah blah. There's always more ways than one way to skin a cat. Always. There's always, remember that. So what I like to do with these is I throw them in the forge. I'm going to throw them in my gas forge for now, propane forge. Get them nice and hot, flux the crap out of them, let them soak a bit. Then I'll put them in my coal forge. Forge weld the ends. Yes. Forge weld the ends. Get them nice and square. Untwist this thing. Beat the crap out of it so all the crud and stuff comes out of the fibers. Flux it again. Twist it closed, nice and tight, and then start forge welding. So, okay, let's get to her. Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the inside there, but both of them are in. They are nice and orange. There's the one. So, I'll turn the forge off, pull those out, whack them against the anvil, flux the crap out of them. Stick them back in there and wait till I'm ready with my coal forge. And then I'll start forge welding each one, piece by piece or section by section on each one. Okay, let's get these ends forge welded. Okay, I'm gonna start forge welding the ends. Now it's little taps. You don't want to smack the living crap out of it. Just little taps. Just get the fibers to set. Just get them to stick. Keep turning it in your forge if you have a coal forge so it gets even heat. And you can literally feel how solid it gets when it starts welding. Flux. There we go. That fits in my hardy hole. Okay, I'm gonna heat this entire thing up. I'll use my vice grips, grab the end here, untwist this, beat it on the end, we'll get all the crud out. And while it's open, I'll throw some flux in there. Close it up again, and then we can start the whole forge welding procedure from fresh. Okay, here we go. Stick this in the hardy hole. Why? Because I can. Open her up, not too much. I'll everything that you see falling out of there, that was all the borax or the flux we got in there. Now, nice and clean. Borax again. Now some people twist these when it's at forge welding temperature. Yeah, sure, you can do that. I think I will. Just close this up a little, and then I'll bring it back at a forge weld temp. Okay, let's start welding. Okay, official weld number 1. You can literally hear how it goes solid. Get some of that on there. Okay, turn it around, stick that end in, continue forge welding. Now, I also, while it's in the forge, I keep turning it so it has an even heat. You can't have it at forge welding temperature on the one side and not at welding temperature on the other side. It's not going to work. So I keep turning it. So we welded from one end to the other end. It's now time to start actually beating it into shape. And let it fall on the floor, because that's how we do it. Now, one piece of advice I can give is If you want to know when it's at forge welding temperature, if you look in your forge and you look at the piece of steel, it looks like the flux is all runny on it and it starts to bubble, and as soon as it starts hurting your eyes because of the brightness, that's how I see it. That's when I take it out. Try not to let it spark too much because you're burning the carbon out. But that's how I taught myself. I throw it in. If it starts sparking, yes, it's gonna forge weld. You need to try and get it just before that. Now at this temperature, I can literally feel how solid this thing is. It's a solid bar up to there. From back here to where my tongs are, that's all solid bar. You can literally feel with the hammer. It's like hitting a brick wall instead of hitting some Play-Doh, pretty much. Okay, I'm gonna do the final weld on the back end of this piece of steel and call it a day. Well, not call it a day. I'll do the other one still, and I need to start making a knife, but that's gonna be in a different video. I'll show you guys the end product of one. So the damn camera died. It didn't do anything different, but all I'm doing now is turning it into a square. That's all. So remember, when you do any type of forge weld work, when you forge it, keep it nice and close to the forge weld temperature. Now, I'm making this square because I want to cut it, stack it, and re-weld it. I still have that second piece in my propane forge, so I'll get to that when I can. Okay, I'll just take it back in the forge because it's cooled down too much. I don't know how it looks on the camera, but it's a really dull red right now. Square out the last little bit. There we go. Well, there you have it. There's billet 1 and 2. What I'll do now is I will cut both of them down the middle. I will clean up the surfaces on the inside there, and then I'm going to forge weld those together. But before I do the whole forge weld thing, I'll show you the pattern on it. And the next video is going to be on how I turn this into a knife. It is hot as hell in here, so hope you guys learned something at least out of this video. Spillage. So now I have 2 of them. What I will do is I'm gonna cut them in half. Then I'll stack these 2 on top of each other, stack these 2 on top of each other, forge weld, and turn it into maybe 2 knives. One, for a fact, is going to a customer in Vancouver. So, I will show you what that looks like either now. And there you go. Come on, focus. Nice solid piece of cable Damascus. Started cleaning it up a bit. Not much, but a little bit. Here's the other one. Let me grab the other one real quick here. Here's the other one. Beauty. Well, let me get these cut up and get them ready for a knife. And as you can see, it turned out pretty good. No issues, no cold shuts, no cracks, no delams. It's just turned out really good. So I hope I could help you guys out in this video. This is going to be one of the longer, or this is one of my longer videos, because I really like to go into depth on how I do my forge welding on cable. And I remember my first time I did it, it was chaos. There was wires everywhere, flux everywhere. I burnt the crap out of myself, and it's because I was not exposed to this type of stuff a lot. So I thought, it's just forge welding and it's cable, it's easy. I've seen millions of videos. No. If it's dirty, you're gonna have a crappy time. It's not gonna stick. It doesn't want to forge weld. It's gonna pull apart. Blah blah blah. So the biggest thing you can take home with this is make sure it's clean before you even attempt to forge weld. If there is a spot in there that's dirty, you're gonna have problems. I guarantee along the line, either when it's already forged into a knife and you're grinding it, you're gonna get delams somewhere, or it's gonna pull apart when you start forging it into a knife. It's gonna screw up somewhere. So make sure you have a clean piece of steel. Let it soak in a forge. Let it burn out. Let the flux get in there. Hit it on the anvil. Just get all that crap out of there, because it's either rusted, full of grease, oils, or whatever, dirt. Get that stuff out of there so it's nice and clean. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this could help you out. Please throw comments in the section below there. Ask questions. I'm pretty sure me and everyone else that's subscribed to this channel can help you out. I couldn't guarantee you that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one when I turn these into a knife. See ya.